Welcome to Code Your English, the home to learn and grow fast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I am truly happy that you are here with me today. I hope you are doing well, and if life feels a little difficult right now, I hope this episode can bring you some comfort, understanding, and maybe even a little hope. Today, I want to start with a simple but very important question. Have you ever felt like something is stopping you in life, but you cannot fully understand what it is? Maybe you wanted to learn something new, start a dream, improve your English, change your habits, or become a better version of yourself. But somehow, you stayed in the same place. Maybe you wanted to move forward, but something inside you kept saying, "What if I fail?" Or, "Maybe I am not good enough." If you have ever felt this way, I want you to know something very important. You are not alone in this feeling. Sometimes, we think our biggest problems come from outside. We may think that our lack of money, lack of time, difficult situations, or other people are the main reasons why we cannot move forward. And yes, sometimes life really is difficult. Sometimes the challenges around us are real and painful. But many times, something surprising happens. The biggest thing standing in our way is not always outside of us. Sometimes, the biggest obstacle is inside us. Sometimes, without even knowing it, we become the person stopping ourselves. Now, this may sound a little strange or even uncomfortable to hear. You may ask, why would someone stop themselves? It is a good question. After all, everyone wants happiness, success, confidence, peace, or a better future. So why do people sometimes avoid opportunities? Why do people give up too early? Why do people wait for years to start something important? Why do people doubt themselves so much, even when they have ability and potential inside them? Maybe you know this feeling. Perhaps there was a time when you wanted to speak English, but fear stopped you. You worried about making mistakes. You worried about what other people might think. So instead of practicing, you stayed quiet. Or maybe you had a dream in your heart. Maybe you wanted to start a business, travel somewhere new, change careers, improve your health, or simply become more confident. But every time you wanted to begin, another voice inside your mind said, "Not now. You are not ready." Or, "What if things go wrong?" The truth is, many people are fighting battles inside themselves every day. And sometimes, these inner battles are harder than outside problems. A person may have talent, but feel afraid to try. A person may have intelligence, but struggle with confidence. Someone may have a beautiful dream, but keep waiting for the perfect time that never comes. And little by little, days become months, and months become years. Today, we are going to talk deeply about something many people experience but do not always understand. We are going to explore why people are often their own biggest obstacle. We will talk about fear, self-doubt, overthinking, low confidence, negative thoughts, and the hidden habits that quietly stop people from growing. But please, do not worry. This episode is not here to judge anyone. It is here to help us understand ourselves better. Because when we understand ourselves, something powerful happens. We begin to grow. We begin to change. We stop fighting against ourselves, and we slowly start helping ourselves instead. And I want to tell you something before we continue. If you have been feeling stuck in life, if you feel like you are moving slowly, or if fear has been stopping you from doing something important, please do not be too hard on yourself. Growth takes time. Confidence takes time. Change takes time. No one becomes strong overnight. No one suddenly becomes fearless. Every person is learning, growing, struggling, and trying in their own way. So today, I invite you to stay with me until the end of this episode. Maybe you will discover something important about yourself. Maybe you will finally understand why certain things have felt difficult. And maybe, just maybe, this conversation can become the beginning of a new way of thinking. So take a comfortable seat, relax for a moment, and let us explore this question together. Why are people often their own biggest obstacle? Now, let us move deeper into today's topic and talk about something very important. Why do people become their own biggest obstacle? Why do so many people stop themselves from growing, trying new things, or following their dreams? At first, this idea may sound strange. Most people want success. Most people want happiness, confidence, peace, and a better future. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, "Today, I want to make my life harder." So, if people truly want good things in life, why do they sometimes stop themselves from moving forward? The answer is not simple, because human emotions are not simple. Many times people are not trying to stop themselves on purpose. Often, it happens quietly and slowly. It happens through fear, doubt, painful experiences, negative thoughts, and habits that become stronger over time. Sometimes, people do not even realize they are standing in their own way. One of the biggest reasons people become their own obstacle is fear of failure. This fear is more common than many people think. Deep inside, many people worry about trying something and failing. They imagine making mistakes, feeling embarrassed, or being disappointed. Because of this fear, they choose not to start at all. Think about someone who wants to learn English. Maybe this person dreams of speaking confidently one day. Maybe they want to travel, get a better job, make international friends, or simply feel proud of themselves. But every time they think about speaking English, fear appears. They worry about saying something wrong. They worry about grammar mistakes. They worry that people may laugh at them. So instead of practicing, they stay quiet. But here is something important to understand. By trying and making mistakes, people improve. By avoiding mistakes, people often stay stuck. Fear of failure can quietly stop growth before it even begins. And the interesting thing is this: failure itself is usually not the biggest problem. The bigger problem is the fear of failure. Many successful people failed many times before they improved. They made mistakes, learned lessons, and kept moving forward. But people who are afraid to fail sometimes never even begin. And because they never begin, they never give themselves a chance to grow. Another reason people become their own obstacle is the fear of judgment. Many people care deeply about what others think of them. This is natural because human beings want acceptance. Nobody enjoys criticism or rejection. But sometimes this fear becomes so strong that it controls decisions. Have you ever wanted to do something but stopped because you worried about people's opinions? Maybe you wanted to start a YouTube channel, speak English publicly, change careers, dress differently, learn a new skill, or follow a dream. But then a question appeared in your mind. What will people say? This question stops many people. Some worry about being laughed at. Others fear criticism from family, friends, or strangers. And because of this, they choose safety instead of growth. The difficult truth is that no matter what you do in life, some people may judge you. If you try something new, people may talk. If you stay the same, people may still talk. So when fear of judgment controls your life, you slowly begin living for other people instead of yourself. Another big obstacle is the fear of change. This may sound surprising because many people say they want change. They want a better life, better habits, better health, better confidence, or more success. But at the same time, change can feel uncomfortable and scary. Why? Because change means entering something unknown. Imagine someone who has lived the same way for many years. Maybe they want to improve their life, but improvement means changing daily habits. It means waking up earlier, learning new skills, taking risks, meeting new people, or stepping outside comfort zones. Even when people know change may help them, the unknown can feel frightening. Our minds often prefer familiar problems over unfamiliar opportunities. A person may stay in a situation they dislike simply because it feels safe and familiar. Sometimes people stay unhappy because fear tells them, "At least you know this life." Another major obstacle is low confidence. Confidence affects almost everything we do. When people do not believe in themselves, they often stop trying before they even begin. Low confidence sounds like this: I cannot do it. I am not smart enough. I am too old. My English is bad. Other people are better than me. These thoughts may seem small, but over time, they become powerful. When someone repeats negative ideas again and again, they slowly begin believing them. Imagine a student learning English. They see other learners speaking fluently and suddenly begin comparing themselves. Instead of saying, "I can improve too," they say, "I will never be as good as them." Because of this belief, they stop practicing. But confidence is not something people are born with. Confidence grows slowly through action. It grows through practice, mistakes, learning, and patience. Many confident people were once afraid beginners too. Now let us talk about something very powerful, but often invisible: negative self-talk. Negative self-talk is the voice inside our mind that speaks badly to us. Sometimes this voice says things like, "You are not good enough. You always fail. You are too weak. You cannot change. Why even try?" Sadly, many people speak to themselves more harshly than they would ever speak to another person. Think about it for a moment. If your friend made a mistake, would you say, "You are hopeless"? Probably not. You would encourage them. You would say, "It is okay. Try again." But many people do not treat themselves with the same kindness. Over time, negative self-talk becomes dangerous because people start believing it. And when people believe negative things about themselves, they stop taking chances, stop dreaming, and stop believing growth is possible. Another hidden obstacle is overthinking. Have you ever thought about something so much that you became tired and confused? Maybe you wanted to start something important, but instead of acting, you kept thinking, "What if I fail? What if I make the wrong choice? What if people judge me? What if things go badly?" The mind becomes full of questions and fear. Overthinking often tricks people into believing they are preparing, when actually they are only delaying action. Instead of taking one small step, they wait and think and worry again. The truth is, life does not always become clear before action. Sometimes clarity comes after action. Sometimes people need to take the first small step before confidence and answers appear. Another reason people become their own obstacle is waiting for the perfect time. Many people tell themselves, "I will start tomorrow. I will begin next month. I will practice when life becomes easier. I will follow my dream when I feel ready." But here is the difficult truth. Perfect timing rarely exists. Life is always busy. Problems always exist. Fear may never completely disappear. People who wait for perfect conditions often stay waiting for years. Sometimes starting small today is more powerful than waiting for perfect conditions tomorrow. Then there is the comfort zone. This is one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck. A comfort zone feels safe. It feels familiar. Even when people are unhappy, staying in the same place often feels easier than trying something new. For example, someone may dream of speaking English fluently, but instead of practicing every day, they choose activities that feel easier and more comfortable. Another person may want to improve their life, but fear keeps them inside old habits. The comfort zone is tricky because it feels peaceful in the beginning, but over time it can quietly stop growth. Growth often feels uncomfortable at first. Learning feels uncomfortable. Change feels uncomfortable. Mistakes feel uncomfortable. But many beautiful things in life happen outside comfort zones. Finally, there is self-doubt, one of the quietest but strongest obstacles. Self-doubt is when people question themselves all the time. Even talented, smart, kind, and hard-working people sometimes struggle with this. A person may have skills, dreams, and opportunities, but self-doubt whispers, "Are you really good enough? What if you fail? What if others are better?" And because of these doubts, people stop before even giving themselves a real chance. But here is something very important to remember. Self-doubt does not always tell the truth. Sometimes it is only fear wearing a different face. Maybe you know some of these feelings. Maybe fear, doubt, or overthinking has stopped you before. If yes, please remember this. You are human. These struggles are more common than you think. Many people experience them, even successful people. The good news is this: obstacles inside us can change. Fear can become courage. Doubt can become confidence. Negative thinking can become healthier thinking. Growth is possible, even if it happens slowly. And sometimes, the first step is simply understanding what has been stopping us all along.